Well, we're hiking out of Hikertown. It's a pretty interesting place. All those buildings over there, the little buildings, each one is a little cabin. And yeah, it's a nice little place to be sheltered. And then they gave, there's a store down the road that had a grill in it, and if you called them, they would come and get you and give you a free ride to it. That's all right. It was a decent stay. And now we're hiking out of here, and we'll probably do about 10 miles today. A lot of uphill, which you know is my favorite, and yeah, we'll have a really good day. I hope it warms up a little bit. It's a little chilly, but I mean, just the last time we hiked, it was so hot I could hardly stand it, and now I'm hoping it'll warm up a little bit. It's chilly. High winds today, and temperature's a little low, but I'm sure we'll have a great day of hiking. And if I see anything that looks good, I will take a picture of it and show you.
Sparkled brighter than a diamond ring. It danced around my head as light as air, lifting from my heart every care. Yeah, your word makes known the lyrics of my life, and your love makes good the melody in time. I like to move to your beat. It sets music to my feet, and when I'm walking in rhythm with you, I never have to sing the blues.
So we stopped for lunch, and we just enjoyed our tuna packets, and George's putting them in the garbage now. Now we're having our cookie dessert, and it's pretty good. And then we have our electrolytes that we always put in our water at lunchtime. It makes it look like it's off-colored, but really that's just the electrolyte one. And that's kind of good. It's raspberry lemonade flavored. So anyway, while we were hiking, we found this nice little creek. Got off the trail a little bit so we could sit on the rock and look at the creek while we have our lunch. And then, as soon as we finish our lunch and maybe sit around for a few minutes just to relax, we will get back to hiking. We've got, what, 3.8 more miles to go? Mm-hmm. It's all uphill though, so that's hard for me. You know how much I hate uphill. So anyway, 3.8 more miles and we'll be at our campsite. I know what I wanted to talk about. I remembered that when I was at Hikertown, I read an article out of the San Diego News that said that there is a super bloom of wildflowers because of all of that rain and snow earlier this spring. And so I don't know, it's hard for me to stop taking photos of them. They're so beautiful. I've seen some in the video so far. I mean, just so many. It's such a great, huge abundance. And you know what? They're calling it a super bloom. And it is a super bloom. And people are driving out to the country to get to see it. And we don't even have to drive out here. We're already out here. We just get to see it. And I hope you enjoy looking at them too, because they sure are pretty. But the only thing about that is that every, quarter mile we have to stop and take more photos because they're just so pretty. So we're not making the greatest time today, but Anyway, just thought I'd share that with you.
Good save.
Our camp is kind of hidden in a clearing in the bushes. That's what we chose because it's supposed to be pretty windy tonight. We think these bushes will be a good barrier for the wind. And there's a nice big flat spot in there for it. So, and here's the best part about this campground. This campground is a little more developed, so it has a picnic table. I just really miss tables and chairs. So, really happy to see it. There's a fire pit. I don't know if I'll get Renegade to build me a fire tonight. He's probably just as tired as I am, but oh, that was one of my favorite things when we hiked the AT, was to sit around a campfire at night. Although it's colder here right now, so I mean, I'm already doubled up and tripled in my layers, and I've got 3 layers on the top and 2 layers on the bottom because it's already cold, even though it was a hot day. So anyway, it's a good campsite. Happy to be here. Happy to be ready to make some dinner. George went down to the water source to get us some water. And we'll just settle in here and call this home for the night. It's a nice view too. There we go. Finally I get a campfire. It's very nice. And I'm glad that George made it for me. Are you ready to go?
Yes.
It is.
Yes. The sooner we go, the sooner we get warm.
It is so cold out this morning. It's day 32 and it's really, really cold. I think it's got to be at least freezing, don't you, George?
Yeah, we camped above 5,000 feet.
Right, so we're going to get walking and see if we can't get warmed up. I don't know if I'll take any pictures till it gets warmed up. That's hard to do.
Yeah, your word makes known the lyrics of my life, and your love makes good the melody in time. I like to move to your beat. It sets music to my feet, and when I'm walking in rhythm with you, I never have to sing a blues. Yeah, your word makes known the lyrics of my life, and your love makes good the melody.
Not bad, no post tolling. Just coming back down. It's amazing how 3 days ago we were burning up in the desert. Now we're up here on this mountain freezing.
So, this Poodle Dog bush is the first thing that grows back in a forest after a forest fire. Which, well, in this forest. Because I know in Colorado Rocky Mountains, the fireweed is the first thing that comes back. And it's a beautiful purplish red flower. Covers the ground. Now this Poodle Dog bush is going to blossom, but it hasn't yet, and it'll be pretty. But it has that skin irritant in it here. And you can see that it's right in an area where there was some burn. So, every place has its flower, I guess, that comes back first after a burn. Somebody that we were camping with or something said that that the oil in it that's an irritant to our skin keeps particular weeds and plants from growing back in the area that are not beneficial to the area. And that would make sense. So we'll just avoid them. Don't touch them. Don't even let our poles touch them. Yeah, that'll be good. That plant right there is known as Poodle Dog bush. There's several of them around here. There's going to be a whole lot more in the next few miles. Somebody said next 20 miles or so. Where is it? It's hard for me to find things with this camera. And I mean, there's a reflection, but that's a big one. Anyway, we've only seen a few of them so far. But they are more irritating to the skin than poison ivy or poison oak or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, we've had people tell us all kinds of things about them, so we've looked them up on Wikipedia, and sure enough, that is a plant that will cause you terrible skin irritation and pain. So we don't want to touch it. We talked to one guy this morning. He's like, it's worse than poison ivy. Don't even let your trekking pole touch it. So we won't even let our trekking poles touch it because we don't want to have that kind of irritation. But there is a lot of up there, and we'll have to be careful where we camp, careful where we walk, careful about everything, because we're not going to be walking out of them today. We'll be camping probably around them tonight. So I'm sure we'll be fine. Well, it is only 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We're all finished hiking, just finished eating our dinner, and we're hiding in our tent. Okay, not hiding. We're cloistered in our tent. We're freezing cold. Never did warm up today. It started off cold this morning, and it has been cold all day. I mean, it wasn't freezing during the early afternoon. It was just cool. So, as you can see, I have on my down boots that keep my feet warm while I sleep at night when it's cold. Oh, and I've got on my down puffy jacket, and underneath it I have my fleece jacket, and underneath that I have my regular shirt, and underneath that I have a heavy wool base layer, and I'm still cold. And we're going to get into the sleeping bag liner, though, that has fleece. Fleece is good. It'll be warm. And let's see, let me turn them.
I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm freezing.
I don't want to talk to anybody. He's making us another cup of broth because that feels like it'll make us feel a little warmer to have more broth. So, hot and steamy broth. That'll be nice. So that's the end of this day, day 32. We wish it was warmer because we're in the desert.
I'm very disappointed in this desert.
Because,
Rain.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
So we're not dying up there, praise God.
That's true. So that's the end of day 32. Tomorrow we're going to be hiking down a mountain, so at the end of the day it should be warmer. Sun is rising on day 33. It's like a carpet of clouds, like you could walk right out on it. Of course, if you did, you'd fall through, and that would hurt.
We're seated in the heavenlies.
Is that it?
Yep, seated in the heavenlies, looking down on the world.
Yeah. Man, was it cold last night. But even with all the snow that's out here and ice, the sun is out. So It's a little better today than it was yesterday. Doesn't feel quite as cold, but I still have on my sweater. But I didn't have to put on my leather gloves, just my hiking gloves. So it's not as cold as it was yesterday morning. It's not foggy and wet like it was yesterday. So that's better.
And we got about a mile road walk before we get back to the trail.
Yeah, because of the campsite we were at. And then we're planning on doing a 12-mile day today to get down to a road that has a lot of camping spots next to it, plus supposedly water cache. So it's mostly downhill, so shouldn't be too hard of a day. Getting back up to the trail from the campsite is uphill, but that's okay. Once we get to the trail, it'll be normal again. So
Whatever that is.
what he says, whatever normal is. Yeah, I get it. So here we go, another day. If I see some more pretty things, I'll surely take pictures of them and show them to you.
Lord, you shine so bright, my night is light. And day by day, you keep me unafraid. When I find myself in trouble, you're right there on the double. You know I am your girl, I'll never stray. Ah, you know I am your girl, I'll never stray. That's the that I run, 'cause of all that you've done. You've made me what I am today, and I'm needing your love. No, I can't get too much. I live on every word you say. Each word you say each day directs my way. And more, you're all I.
There's a lot of that poodle dog bush in here. Hard to walk through without even letting my trekking poles touch it. But I'll manage. I'm watchful. There's the second cave we've seen on this trail. That one looks like it was naturally made, not man-made though, I think. Cool. Kind of a weird day. Started off freezing cold. Couldn't even make myself get out of bed. I was so cold. And then we hiked 12 miles, a little over 12 miles. And now we're in the bright sun, and I'm cooking dinner and trying not to get a sunburn. I had to put more sunscreen on. It's starting to chill down a little bit. I have my light sweater on. It's a beautiful day, and it's time to cook dinner, and I've got, let me see what. There's the boiling water, and I will be putting it in our mountain house meal. This is chicken fajita bowl. We share one of these every night for dinner. Well, not this flavor, but one of the adventure meals from Mountain House. They're pretty good. They make good food. But we came down from over those mountains over there. Oops, my water's boiling. Better turn it off. Came down from those mountains over there. And then tomorrow we're going to go up into those mountains over there. So, end of day 33. We got us a nice little campsite. And our tent's all set up, and we're about to eat dinner as soon as it's ready.
Got holes in my socks.
Uh-oh, he's got holes in his socks. There's some kind of weird flight thing going on. All day long, we've been hearing, I don't think I can get it with my camera. There it is. These airplanes flying pretty low. And all different airplanes. Big, huge carrier airplanes. whatever that guy is, and they're pretty loud. Looks like tonight will be, hopefully they'll quit by dark, so we don't hear them all night. But I mean, they're kind of cool to watch because they fly low and zoom around in big circles. It's like getting to watch a air show. So, okay, as long as they quit by night so that we can sleep, because they're loud. Well, anyway, we're going to be getting our stuff together and going to bed before you know it, and so we can get a good night's rest to hike another day tomorrow. Okay. So as soon as the sun went down, it got cold again. So we're back to laying in our tent, even though it's not bedtime because it's too cold to be outside. So, it was a good day, even though, I mean, it stayed cool a lot of the day, so we didn't overheat, didn't get too much heat. And when we got here to our campsite, it was beautiful and sunny and warm, and then the sun went down. So yeah. Anyway, today, one of the things that I wanted to mention was that there's a couple of hikers that I've been following on YouTube that are hiking the Pacific Crest this year. Their names are Rumbles and No Filter, and they're just kind of fun to watch if you're interested. They are hiking with codgers. Yeah. Anyway, they're funny, and it was nice to meet them this morning. They were going northbound, we were going southbound. This will be their Triple Crown. That means that when they finish this hike, they will have done the Appalachian Trail, the Continental Divide Trail, and this trail. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, that was a good thing that happened today. Plus, there was a lot of downhill and not that much uphill. That was another good thing that happened today. Anyway, so I think I'll end this video here and start a new one so that the video won't be too long. And yeah, so I'll see you in the next one.